Oh, come on. Not both of them. And him as well. Oh, what's this? For God's sake. Woohoo! Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is Late Night Live. I apologise for being late. There were some technical difficulties that meant there was no choice but to late. I apologise for that, but we're all sorted now. Hopefully this is all coming through properly. And there's some big news tonight. Manchester United, according to Tier 1 journalist Mohamed MUFC, have agreed a 5-year contract with Alex Telles. I've got my big jacket on. I've got my transfers jacket on. Pending an agreement with Porto for the fee. United look to have signed or look close at least to signing a new left back. This comes off the back of Fabrizio Romano this afternoon talking about how United were going to get a right winger and a left back, and then not, 2 or 3 hours later, we've got other reliable Tier 1 journalists coming out and saying that Manchester United have agreed a contract with Alex Telles of Porto. We're going to be getting all into that. I'm going to be looking at a few stories. We're going to be looking at a preview a little bit for the Crystal Palace game tomorrow, because football's back as well. We've had a bit of shit football. We've had to watch everyone else for a week. Now we've got actual Man United football. Tonight's show is, of course, sponsored by Cans. Oh. Cheers, lads. And tonight, we're going to be looking at a brand new, well, I say it's brand new. It's a slightly new version of a food we've all either known and loved or known and hated. But Morrisons are selling eggs by the bag in water now. So based on that story, we're going to be getting into that a little bit. Based on that story, I want your Farmyard football puns. You know what I'm saying? Any Farmyard animal, any sort of tractor-based puns, anything like that. Any footballers and your Farmyard. Who could you have? You could have, poultry. Him used to play for, I don't know, Switzerland a few years ago. Football, Farmyard puns. Get them in the comments and I'll be making my football Farmyard 11. But first, let's get into this story of Alex Telles, left back for Porto. And this story coming at 7:17 p.m. So very fresh story tonight. And this is from Mohamed Bouhafsi, like I said, Tier 1 journalist. And he has said, Alex Telles has agreed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. Premier League club will now seek to agree a fee with FC Porto. PSG are also there, still thinking about whether or not to make a concrete move. Now, it looks as though this is maybe the second left-back in about a week that Manchester United have approached. This one seems like there's more of a chance of this happening because Sergio Reguilon, who I'm referencing there, his sort of employers, Real Madrid, always wanted that buyback clause in that deal, which we've seen he's going to Tottenham, and there is, I believe, a 35 or 40 million euro buyback clause in that deal, something that United never agreed to, something that United refused to agree to. But tonight, Alex Telles seems to have taken a big step towards signing for Manchester United. Let me know what you think to this potential transfer. Of course, get your puns in the chat. We've got Egerson Cavani, we've got Demba Ba, very nice. Egerson Cavani, you're going straight in. Egerson Cavani. So footballers, Farmyard puns. Gareth Haybale, he's in the news, isn't he? He's in the news, bless him. Oh, I've realised. Let's get this up. Come on. There we go. There's Alex Telles, in case you didn't know what he looked like. Gareth Haybale, Combine Havertz, that's close, but it's not quite there. Paul Hogba, not bad. We've got Henningberg. I don't know, you just said his name, Henningberg. Cesc Fabregas, that's not bad. Andros Cowsend, he's going at left wing. There's some good ones already. Cowsend, very nice. Paul Pigba, Gareth Haybale again. Wan Pig Saka, Bull Pogba, Angel Cowmez, Neymar, spell Neigh, that's very good. Bradley Duck, I assume he said a Bradley Dack. We've got Gonzalo Higuain, which is very good because he was known for his sort of piggish eating at some points. Wayne Mooney, that's Andy on 78 with the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. I'll put that one in there. He's going to be a centre attacking mid, or you sort of your centre forward, just behind the main striker role. Wayne Mooney. It's the weekend, lads, and Manchester United are actually back. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that in a minute, and we're going to be getting back to this Alex Telles story because I want to look at a little bit at his stats. I want to look a little bit at what United can expect from Alex Telles. Marwan Fertilizer. Denver Barn, very good. We've got a lot of attackers coming in. I need midfielders and defenders. So, excuse me, get your midfielders and your defenders in the chat. And I'll come back to them. Donkey van der Beek, that's very good. Ross, very, very fine work there. Oh, it's nice. We've got a bit of energy in the room today because United actually look like they might be signing someone, which is very nice, isn't it? Wayne Silage instead of Wayne Bridge, I guess. It's not bad. Kareem Benzebra. You don't really have zebra farms. Famously untamable, the zebra. So you don't. I mean, I'm sure you can have zebra farms, but you don't think of them in terms of farming, really. Not where I come from, anyway. But you know, each to their own, I suppose. Let's get into this Alex Telles stats then. Alex Telles made 31 appearances in Liga NOS last season, registering 11 goals, 8 assists. In all competitions, he got 49 appearances, 13 goals, 12 assists as well. So he's very prolific in front of goal. I believe he does take some set pieces, which of course aids that goal scoring tally. But the fact that he's trusted with those set pieces is a quality unto itself. Yeah, I mean, 13 goals, 12 assists. I don't think I've ever seen a Premier League fullback do that. Even, you know, Leighton Baines in his heyday, was he getting 13 goals? It's a lot in it. Leighton Barnes, but Barnes is just anyone's surname, but it is a barn, and barns are on farms. Barns on farms. No one can deny that. No one can tell me any different. Alex Telles, it looks as though we're looking at around a €20 million fee as well, which is something that is seemingly cheaper than Reguilon would have been. For those of you who don't know, Alex Telles, of course, is 27 years old. A bit more experience. He's been at Inter Milan. He's now been at Porto for a few years. One of those players that's very good on FIFA. And what does that mean? Probably a big load of nothing, but it seems as though the guys at FIFA think he's pretty good, and they know more about football than me. Oh, do they? They know more about bribery than me, that's for sure. James Tarkowski, not bad. Kevin De Barnyard instead of De Bruyne, it's not bad. Old Trafford, that's very good. That's really good as a stadium, because we do need a stadium. We do need a manager as well. Get your midfielders, get your defenders, get your goalkeepers, and we'll move on to our next story tonight. And this, it's another football one. And I've used a picture of Stretford Paddock FC there. That just happens to be an accident. German football team lose 37-0 after socially distancing from opponents. Unreal. An amateur German football team lost a match 37-0 after they were socially distancing from their opponents due to concerns about the coronavirus. The losing side, SG Ripdorf / Moltzen 2, two different names. Moltzen 2 sounds like a Robot Wars robot, by the way. Only fielded 7 players, as that was the minimum team size required to complete the fixture. It came after their opponents for the game, SV Holdenstedt 2, again, 2 teams that have clearly been reanimated after their death in a previous form, previously faced off against the team with a player who tested positive for coronavirus. What is this? Despite all of the Holdenstedt squad testing negative, Ripdorf did not feel conditions were safe enough to properly compete. However, the 11th tier of Germany, there is a €200 fine for forfeiting a game. And so the Lower Saxony 3 Kreislasse League, and I've got that exactly right, witnessed the almost 40 goal drubbing. I don't know why you have to say almost 40 goal drubbing, because 37 goal drubbing is pretty much bad enough, isn't it? You don't have to round 37 goals up at all. I think 37 goals is startlingly bad enough. Averaging a goal every 2.5 minutes, which, to be honest, a team that's got 7 men who clearly are social distancing, that's shit. Am I the only one who thinks that's crap? If you had a team that refused to touch the ball or tackle you, and you only scored a goal every 2 minutes, that's crap. It's got to be at least 90-0, hasn't it? Just booting it, halfway line, halfway line, halfway line. And if anything, if the ref's on his watch, he could probably score 1,000 goals. Because it only takes a fraction of a second, or a couple of seconds to get the ball from the halfway line to the back of the net. It should have been 1,000-0. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. If I was the manager of that team that had just won 37-0, I'd be fuming. Think of it. This could be enough goal difference for all of your children. This goal difference could help your children's children in their football careers. We can score so many goals that none of your children will ever have to score a goal again. And yet they didn't. 37, that's all they scored. They could have been billionaire. They could have scored 1 billion goals. Or however many seconds there are in a football match. I assume it's 1 billion. Big number anyway, innit? Got to be because it's footy. 37-0. Speaking of 37-0, Stretford Paddock FC do play their first ever competitive game tomorrow, and I'm not suggesting it will be 37-0, but, if you want to go down, go down. I have used a picture of Stretford Paddock FC. That is simply to avoid copyright. Again, not to infer any sort of drubbing will be taking place tomorrow at 12:30. Or 2 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. Aaron Quinn with the super chat again. Thank you very much. Andre Villas-Boas equals Andre Fields of Goals. It's kind of a farm, isn't it? Because farm have fields, but I don't think a farm is known for just being a field. Although maybe it is actually. Great bit of knowledge though. Fantastic bit of knowledge. Back to your puns then. We've got your, of course, Farmyard football puns. Get them in the comments. Hey Min Son, very nice, but I've already got a left winger. Eric Cantona, not bad. What have we got? David De Gea. Yeah, you can go in. David De Gea. Very good. Cal Moutinho instead of Joe Moutinho. That's not bad actually at all. That's not bad. Cristiano McDonaldo. It's not bad, is it? Paddock McNair. That's nice. You can go left back. Paddock McNair. And it's like Stretford Paddock, isn't it? Although we're not named after a farm. What else we got? Muno Fernandez. That's not bad at all. Jurgen Krops. That's really good. I'm just going to go Jurgen Kropp. Not because yours isn't good enough. I'm just improving it slightly, I think, with that. Jurgen Kropp. Very good. Because also it can be the crops that grow in the farm, or it can be a riding crop used to inflict pain on horses for speed. Kieran Pate, I don't know if it's Pate, but I'm saying it is Pate, mate. Kieran Pate says Andy Rambertson, like a ram. He's going at right back. I know he's a left back, but I've already got a left back. You know what fullbacks are like. Thank you for the super chat. If you want to get your super chats in, please do. Every little helps. Dwight Pork, very nice. Alex Catellez, not bad. Jack Willsheep, Willie? You tell me. If it gets cold enough. Ozil Gunnage. No, not bad. Ozil Gummage. Oh, fuck it, that's going in. It's not great, but it made me laugh. So what more do you want? Ozil Gummage. Every time I read it, it makes me laugh. Right, we'll come back to those in a minute. Another story, and this is a little bit of a preview for what can only be described as the Premier League. Manchester United are playing Crystal Palace tomorrow. We're looking at Van der Beek as our only new signing. It's been all about signings, hasn't it? Which is a shame, because that always does tend to happen around this time of year. Signings become more important than football. And I saw a little graphic the other day about the team that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer inherited and the team he has now, and the squad depth in each position. And there's the likes of, Lingard, of course, who's still there, and Mata, who's still there. But then you've got Ashley Young and Sanchez and Lukaku and all these players who you just think, I forgot he had to clear all these people out. Even Herrera, who, maybe some people wanted to stay. Solskjaer had to clear all these players out. And he's done a brilliant job at rotating the squad and turning over, much in the way that a farmer would. He's rotated his crops and rotated his fields. But unfortunately for him, he doesn't look as though he's being backed sufficiently. But like I said, the news tonight that Alex Telles has agreed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. Premier League club will now seek to agree a fee with FC Porto. PSG also, they're still thinking about whether or not to make a concrete move, which I believe means that their move is in the mixer. Terrible joke, sorry about that. Solskjaer's done a lot of good work to this squad, obviously culminating in the signing of Bruno Fernandes in January. United looking pretty strong, I would say, despite the fact that we haven't improved the way we could and the way that we still might. Let's not forget, there's still around 3 weeks left of the transfer window. No one wants to leave it this late. No one wants to get Sancho on the last day, 11 o'clock. You see him walking through the corridors of Old Trafford like we did with Dimitar Berbatov. No one wants that to happen, but let's not get too despondent just yet. Let's have a little bit of positivity. Let's just look on the bright side. And if we end this transfer window with no more players signed, then we can go ballistic then. I agree with you. We can go ballistic then. But for me, we've got 3 weeks left. We can be disappointed that these first few matches didn't have the players we wanted. But if we do end up signing Sancho, and we do end up signing a left-back, and we do potentially end up signing a centre-back or maybe someone else, then for me, it was worth the wait. But of course, I can't see into the future. Because if I could, I'd work in a tent at a fair. Which is weird, isn't it? One of the most incredible talents you can possibly have, seeing into the future, or speaking to the dead. Where do you work? Nobel Peace Prize? Nobel Prize for being able to sort of reanimate bodies and speak to... No, I work in a tent at a fair. Interesting. Interesting. The science of that one. Charlie Pennell with a pun in the comments. Calf-oo, as in like a calf. He's a right back, but he's going at centre-back. I need one more midfielder, one more centre-back in our in our farm pun series. Someone says, I'm sick of it. Yeah, I think a lot of us are. Someone says, Joe. That's sad. Lacazette. Which kind of works if the puns were football 80s audio devices. Aaron, no, don't know that one. Virgil van Dijk, it's not bad. I just don't think of ducks as farm animals. I know they must be because the duck eggs are coming from somewhere. I don't assume they're sort of tree fallen or wind fallen duck eggs. We've got here. We've got Sergio. What does that say? Sergio Ramostrich. That'll go in actually. You know what? I don't love it, but the more I see it, I don't bloody mind it, mate. Honestly. Right, we'll come back to this. Oh, what's that? What's that one? Because I've been wanting one with that in the title. Someone said something about Tractor. Tractor Donetsk. Tractor Donetsk. We need a team name. Perfect. Tractor Donetsk. Donetsk. Great word. Right, move on to our next story. And our final story tonight, unbelievably, as Matt Sargent comes in with Joey Barnton. Would he be the manager or the midfielder? He can't be either because I just don't really like Joey Barton, unfortunately. Sorry. I know he's a bit of a philosopher these days, but just don't do it for me. Final story tonight then, and this is where our puns have been coming from all night. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to bring this in as a full-size image, so bear with me here, because y'all need to see this. It's really quite upsetting. Morrisons are selling wet eggs, and people say they can smell them through the screen. Now, that is conjecture, and that is unprovable, and I don't believe that they can smell them through the screen. They're just saying that because they want to look like they're squeamish. But, I mean, I'm going to bring these pictures up now. Prepare yourself. If anyone has an aversion to eggs, I'm looking at you, Stephen Howson, or if anyone just has allergic to big sort of testicle-looking things in liquid in a bag, which I can't blame any of you for having, you may not like what you're about to see. But I'm just going to bring one of these into the screen here. We'll bring enhance. So, look at this. Bring that up. Get that in there. Look at this on the fly. So look, I've covered myself up entirely. Look how many there are. There's so many bags full of already boiled eggs in liquid. Morrisons, this is a UK-based outlet / franchise / hellscape at the moment. Morrisons UK are selling big wet bloody eggs in a bag. Now, I've never seen anything like it except from a horror film. This looks like some sort of larvae for like an alien. It's going to burst out of their shells and take over the whole supermarket, and it'll be like an Edgar Wright film called Attack the Supermarket. Something like that. Or Clean Up in Aisle Death. That's what I'd call it. They all burst out of their shells. It's a film called Clean Up in Aisle Death. Like that. Let's get into this story, because it's absolutely sickening. Morrisons is selling, and I've said it once, and I'll say it 1,000 million times, Wet eggs. Morrisons shopper was feeling rather confused after spotting a bag of wet eggs for sale in the supermarket. We've seen a lot of rather unusual things in supermarkets of late, from customers wearing paper bags over their heads as face coverings, to Christmas food making its way onto shelves before we've even celebrated Halloween. But shoppers are particularly disturbed by a recent spot in Morrisons. A Twitter user known as Trumpet Sexy, which, I tried to get that name, but it was taken, took to social media to share their disgust after discovering what they dubbed as wet eggs. The user tweeted photos, writing, "My local Morrisons is actually selling sacks of wet eggs. This is the most wretched and cursed item I have ever witnessed." Now let me just bring up that current picture that we've got in a little bit more clarity, because there's something I would like to raise, not just an alarm, but the FBI too. Let me just bring that up on the screen here. Now, again, I'm going to have to enhance this picture. What I'd like to draw attention to there is the sticker on the eggs that says, in one of the most hideous and questionable lies I've ever seen, 5 boiled eggs. Now, there is clearly, doesn't take a scientist or even a YouTuber with a picture of an egg on his screen to tell you that there are at least 30 eggs in that bag. Why does it say 5 eggs? Who are you fooling? And here's the scary thing, maybe it was 5 eggs when it went in there and they bred. Maybe it was 5 big ostrich eggs and out of those eggs came many more smaller eggs. This is what I'm saying. Destination death. Look at the state of this. Right, and in honour of, a quite frankly hideous discovery of hundreds of eggs being housed in bags around the country, as sinister as it is, let's face it, sexual. In honour of that, we're going to be bringing you are actually going to be bringing me our Farm Football 11. Get your final puns in. I need a central midfielder, and we are out of here. We've got some puns here. What we got? We've got John Slurry. Don't know who that's instead of. Egg, Degar, David. Not bad. Alex Teles, don't know that one. Dog Fart Van Dyke, don't really have dog farts at farms. Ben Meow, not bad. Bastian Schweinsteiger, which I believe is actually what it means in English anyway. Pork Skulls. What else we got? Darcy Sweeney says, "I'd buy every bag on the shelf." Now we've got a absolute cuckoo of an Eggman in the comments here. Darcy, you're welcome to him, big man. Or big girl, don't know. Can't really tell from the picture, it's quite small. David Peckham, not bad. Lee Cattlemole, Ben Hayes. Lee Cattlemole, very good, because also moles probably pop up on cattle fields all the time. Ryan Pigs is also very good, but it's come just a little bit too late. But before we go then, let me read out my Football Farm 11. Actually, I say it once, I'll say it again. This is your Football Farm 11. Thank you very much, everyone at home, for joining me. Let's read these out. Let's get into it. The team, Tractor Donetsk. The manager, Jurgen Kropp. They play, of course, the Football Farm 11 play at Old Trafford. Takes a bit of a push, that one. In net, David De Gea. On the right, at the back there, is Andy Rambertson. At centre-back, we've got Carfu and Sergio Ramostric. Left-back is Paddock McNair. In midfield, in the engine room, the combine harvester room, as I like to call it, we've got Lee Cattlemole. I'll say it again because I stumbled. Lee Cattlemole. We've got Donkey van der Beek. We've also, at that attacking mid-spot, I've actually realised we've got 12 players on this pitch. Ozil Gummidge. At right wing, we've got Gareth Haybale. Up front, we've got Wayne Mooney. And on the left, we've got Andros Cowsend. Thank you very much to everyone at home who has joined me tonight. Manchester United look to be on the cusp of signing Alex Telles from Porto. All that remains now is that pesky old transfer fee, something United never struggle with. So expect this one to be done in a matter of days. Once again, we're going to be back tomorrow for the first game of the season. Manchester United are playing Crystal Palace. Football is back. We're not going to have Jadon Sancho on the pitch. We're not going to have Alex Telles on the pitch. But we will have Donny van der Beek, and we'll have all the other old cast who was here from season 2012 or season 2020 of football. We're going to be back tomorrow, like I said. We'll have all the build-up, the watch-along, the review, we'll have fan cams, and we've got a brand new show that looks at how exactly the game went. If United win, we'll tell you how it happened. Thank you very much for joining me here tonight on Stretford Paddock. Have a great weekend. We will see you tomorrow for the watch-along. Good night.